Yep.
All right. Welcome to the Cryptocosm, your place for cryptos and blockchain. Today, I got a special guest all the way from the beautiful island nation of Costa Rica. And I know this guy personally. And one thing I want to let you all know that he was the first person who got me into liberty and the concept of libertarianism. And also, he also brought attention to me the Federal Reserve and how money is created. I remember it was on it was in sophomore year in the month of September. We got to hang out. No, it was a junior year. Sorry, junior year. It was at the Pioneer Hall in Plainview, Texas. We both got to hang out. I don't remember we had some brewskis, but I'm pretty sure we
Probably
did.
did.
But yeah, but from then on, we got into like Ron Paul and many other kinds of stuff. I remember we also watched Alex Jones too. So that was also kind of fun, interesting. I mean, it was totally for me, someone who's so new to the American lifestyle and liberty and freedom. That kind of was a turning point in my life. So Mario Gale has played an important role in my life. So hey, I want to bring him to the Cryptocosm. And I'm also excited to know that he is also into cryptos and blockchain. So, anyways, instead of me introducing you, I want you to share your origin story and how you got into cryptos and blockchain.
Thanks, Marcos. And first of all, I just want to say it's an honor to be here on your podcast with you. And secondly, you also have been a really good friend over these past few long. It's almost been a whole decade since we
Yeah.
since we first met. Um, and we have been so far away from each other for so long, but we still keep in touch.
True,
Costa
true.
Rica is where I currently live. I live part time in Texas, part time in Costa Rica. Like winter in Texas, summer in Costa Rica. Usually that's how it goes. And I got into the crypto game back in 2017. It was it was around April 2017, and I am so grateful that I have a friend who he's one of my best friends actually. His name's Josh, and he is the one that planted the seed in my brain about getting into crypto. And he was my
Nice.
mentor. I followed his guidance, and I don't regret it. I started with a few grand, and I've just been a hodler since 2017. Primarily Bitcoin, but also Ethereum, and the price around that time for Bitcoin was around $800 a coin. And what today it's around 62,000 right now. It was like 64 yesterday, around there. 64,000. Today it's around 62, 61,000, give or take. But it's I made one mistake in 2018. I sold one Bitcoin for $10,000 to buy my car here in Costa Rica.
All right.
I mean, I basically sold an asset that is appreciating, a hedge against inflation, to buy a depreciating asset. No, it's not even an
Oh,
asset, it's a liability, my bad.
yeah, yeah. Right, right.
You know? And so I regret it so much, but hey, you live and you learn.
True, true. I mean, you could have been one of you could have been part of the what do you call the one Bitcoin club, right? That's supposed to be such a like a rare, special group. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. That was the only one I sold, and I haven't sold since. I tried to do a little bit of, day trading in the beginning, in the early days, but I was just like, you know what? No, I'm not. I don't want to pay capital gains taxes. You're lucky over there in Dubai. You don't have to pay capital gains taxes. We
Yeah,
do,
I
and
know.
and I learned the hard way. I learned the hard way. I had to pay a lot of taxes last year, and so I decided, you know what, screw it. I'm not gonna worry about that, all that stress of trying to time the market and everything. Um, I just stick to hodling, and I earned some yield from using a certain uh, service from crypto. Celsius Network is one of my favorite companies out there, where you
Great
basically,
company.
yeah, yeah, and you just, I know what they say about, if it's not you don't have the keys, it's not your Bitcoin or it's not your crypto. But uh, I did a lot of due diligence research on the company, and I really do trust the brand. Alex Mashinsky, the CEO, he's very, very incredible guy, and very accessible and very transparent. They've been great to me, man. I've been with them since January, and very happy. Earning
Oh,
interest,
nice.
and I could also get loans if I needed to buy more crypto or to invest in other things. And I use
Right,
my,
right. You can do that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, sweet. Yeah, yeah. No, no, definitely. I guess that saying like not your keys, not your crypto. I understand it. I guess to me personally, it's just about safety, but also at the same time too, like, um, sometimes I think it's such a dystopian kind of a thought process, like, uh, like, you're kind of living in a kind of a wild, wild west kind of deal. I mean, but it's kind of funny, like they say about cryptos, but it's safe as like real estate and stuff. Like, if someone tried to like take your real estate or your car or whatever, it is still your car. It is still your property. So, but I guess in many ways too, the laws are changing, and now, even to say someone's trying to steal your crypto or whatever, I mean, it is still your crypto, but of course, you got blockchain analytics and all that stuff. But that's a whole nother. I can't think of a proper expression, but that's a whole nother game.
yeah,
So, yeah, because I don't want because I think that's what's also kind of scaring a lot of other people into getting into cryptos. You think like because it is still sort of I think they find a lot of risk.
relatively young.
Yeah, I mean, do you think? I mean, I was just curious about the people in Costa Rica or in the States too. What is their mentality when it comes to cryptos, though?
Well, from my, my small bubble in here in Costa Rica, and it's different from my bubble in Texas, South Texas, in
Gotcha.
McAllen, the lower part of Texas, like 10 minutes away from the border with Mexico. But let's start with Costa Rica. Here, it's really, really new. A lot of people have these misconceptions about it, and a lot of distrust. They see it as a pyramid scheme. Uh, Generally, I mean, whether you mention Bitcoin or something else, they're just very weary. They think it's used for money laundering, just bad stuff in general.
Gotcha. Okay.
A lot of education needed. However, there are some, positive developments. Like, for example, it is legal in Costa Rica for employers and companies to pay their employees in crypto, for one,
Wow. Dang.
which is good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. That's,
Uh, Also, the central bank recently they they were interviewed, and there was an article on it. The Central Bank of Costa Rica, they said that we are in favor of developing a crypto blockchain industry in Costa Rica. Costa Rica is really close to El Salvador. We have Nicaragua to the north and Panama to the
gotcha.
south. And so a little bit up north, El Salvador, is the first nation state to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. And they are using volcanoes to mine Bitcoin. They're using renewable energy to mine Bitcoin. In Costa Rica is almost 100% running on renewable energy. Wind, solar, geothermal, and biomass are the primary sources. They're at around 98% running on renewable energy right now. And I mean, we could totally do what El Salvador is doing. It's just a matter of when,
Gotcha.
not if, not if. More education's needed, but still there's a lot of positive signs, like the central bank I mentioned to you. Um, there are at least eight. I counted eight. There are eight different exchanges that you can use here in Costa Rica. Among them is Coinbase, eToro, and Binance. Um, but you can also use Celsius here as well. There's three Bitcoin ATMs, and yeah,
Wait, what? You guys have a man here in Dubai? We still don't have a Bitcoin ATM.
no
You know what I'm
way.
saying? That's no way. No, I know. That's I'm just wait. What? Like you got? Well, we did have one like a couple of years ago, but the Dubai police kind of like confiscated it or something. I don't know. There was some ruling or some issues or stuff, but that is actually pretty impressive. Hopefully that will change. But I'm excited,
Yeah.
but almost a little embarrassed. Like we don't have a Bitcoin ATM now. I'm jealous. So, anyways, go ahead. Go
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've
ahead.
never used one. Have you? I mean, I've never used one personally, but I'm interested in learning a little bit about it. I have a friend in Texas who has a Bitcoin ATM company, supposedly like the third or something, the third largest one in the state. And he was asking me, "Hey, would you be interested in like partnering with us and being like our liaison over there in Costa Rica, set up some Bitcoin ATMs?" And I told him there's already three here. We need to look into it more and see, research how profitable, how feasible it would be to set up shop. But we'll see. We'll see.
All right, man. Man, no, but I think that's pretty cool, though. Wow, that's
Yeah.
really cool.
And there, I don't have an exact number, but there's quite a few, like a good handful of companies in Costa Rica that are already paying their employees in crypto. I don't know what specific crypto asset, but it's already happening. Another good thing is that, like Dubai, Costa Rica has no capital gains tax on selling your crypto, so that's good.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah. No, because no, because when I think because learning about all this capital gain stuff, I think, but that's most what I heard so far is really it's from the Americans, right? From like if you're like a U.S. citizen, but many other countries, I mean, so far they don't have all that stuff, but I think I'm seeing it more like either from like the Five Eye nations, like U.S.,
Hmm.
U.K., Australia.
Hmm.
I don't know how New Zealand's in the picture, but somehow it is. But they
Hmm.
also have their all-seeing eye thing going on. Um, but yeah, but I was just curious to ask you about um, because early you have traveled back to the States, right? You attended some Bitcoin conferences and stuff. So
Oh
did you
yeah,
go to the one in
Miami.
Miami?
Yes,
Yeah,
man, I did.
no, tell me about that. I mean, I'm sure that man, I would love to be there. So please share your
Dude,
experience,
yeah.
man.
Miami 2021 was really awesome. I went with my friend Josh, and the ticket was around like $700, $800, more or less. Uh, it was cheaper to buy the ticket in Bitcoin, and we went over there, and there was a lot of guest speakers, a lot of influencers, big wigs in the crypto space, like especially like in Bitcoin, like Michael Saylor. Can you hear me, by the way? Hello? Think we might have had a little interference. I don't know if you can hear me. I can't hear you. Seem to be having some technical difficulties. Hopefully, we'll get reconnected.
Oh,
Hey,
all
bud.
right. Okay. Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, I just realized it came from my end. Suddenly, like I don't know, like suddenly the whole place internet just got shut. I'm like, wait, what?
No worries. I was like, should I leave? Should I stay?
I was like, oh man, I apologize. Anyways,
No
eh,
worries.
the show must go on the road. But you were just telling me about the Bitcoin Miami conference.
Yeah.
Is that what it's
Yeah.
called, or?
Yeah, yeah, Bitcoin 2021 conference. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with you straight up. It could have been better. I was expecting more. Uh, I was expecting more education, like more like, workshops or stuff like that. It was kind of there was guest speakers and it was just jam packed. There was a lot of people and but it was fun nevertheless, and it was still a great experience. There was a lot of companies, blockchain companies, a lot of different platforms there, representatives. Michael Saylor was there.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? What's his name? The one that has a channel. It's on RT. Uh,
Oh,
with his wife. With his wife. Uh, Damn, I took a
what
picture with him.
RT?
He's like a
You talking
journalist,
about?
Wall Street guy. Uh,
Oh, wait, wait, wait. I know you're talking about. Yeah, he has his own two show. Oh, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. What's his name? Hold on,
I
I
know
got
you're
it.
talking about. I can't even remember his name. Yeah, hold on.
Kaiser, Max Kaiser.
Max Kaiser. Yeah, yeah. I was going to say Maxwell, but yeah, Max Kaiser. But I didn't know the other lady was his wife, though. I thought they were like show partners or something.
Oh, you know what? I don't know. I don't know if she's the wife or not. I kind of got the feeling
Okay.
that they were. But he
Yeah.
was there. Jack Dorsey was there from CEO of Twitter and Square. Michael Saylor,
Interesting.
CEO of MicroStrategy, and it was very interesting at the same time. Though, don't get me wrong, the Bitcoin
Yeah.
2022 is supposed to be better, and their tickets are running out. And I was looking at it. The general pass is pretty cheap right now. It's like $300. So yeah, if you want to get on
Yeah,
that, I
yeah.
think now's the time.
Interesting. Okay.
It's in
Yeah,
it's in
yeah.
April. The next one's in April. April 6th
All
through
right.
April
Okay.
8th. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, because I remember not only the Bitcoin Miami conference was there, but there were also two. I remember there were also like two other conferences because I have talked to some guys like who are from like the Crypto Vigilante and some other like these financial newsletter groups and stuff. So um, there's this one couple. They started their own app called Float app. So basically, it's like kind of like a privacy version, or like kind of like a free speech version of Facebook,
Hmm.
and they started their own conference called the Shitcoin Conference because I'm sure you're going to get this because like in the BTC Miami conference, there were a lot of BTC maximalists.
Oh
So
yeah.
shitcoins, all like altcoins and stuff. They try to invite people like Tone Vays and all to come and talk or whatever. So that was kind of interesting to see like these other alternative conferences are happening in Miami. So but it's cool. I think it is
Yeah.
fun, and I really love the point you mentioned about workshops and education. So because also here in Dubai, a lot of it, there's a lot of presentations and stuff, but I found some of them tend to be more like a hype machine, which is great. I think it makes great marketing and PR, but for the regular Joes and Janes out here in Dubai and all, like, they're still trying to grasp, the simple stuff when it comes to Bitcoin or Bitcoin history and all that stuff. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's overwhelming. So I can really understand that, and I think I'm a firm believer when it comes to like educating people and also ourselves too. I mean, I'm trying to like grasp a lot of the technical stuff, but the
Me
business
too.
stuff, I think that is. I think the messaging and business stuff is way important.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I agree, man. And I'm gonna tell you, I've been educating as a lot of people, my family members, and friends, and I've gotten pushback from uncles and aunts that they some of them didn't believe. They don't want to even risk it. Not even like $50.
okay.
Just set aside, like and that's fine. That's their decision. But that was like what over a year ago, and my aunt and I have an uncle who I've been telling him since 2017 to get in, and he just always would send me negative articles that it's gonna crash, that it's a pyramid scheme, and that it will go to zero. And it's just like, all right, whatever. You know what? I tried. If you want to one day, go ahead. At least I I planted that idea in your head, and I don't think he ever did it, and I don't think it's too late either. I don't think
Yeah.
we have seen the peak yet for Bitcoin at least, and I think there's a lot of potential for Ethereum. That's my second largest asset in my portfolio. I have some other altcoins. I'm being a little risky with some of them, but mainly I always encourage people to at least put what they can, what they're willing to set aside and not touch for like 4 to 5 years. Just forget about it. If you can leave it in there
Yeah.
longer, great. Forget about that money that you're setting aside and put 60% in Bitcoin, 40% in Ethereum, the rest, I mean, or, whatever, 70/30 or whatever works for that person, whatever they want to do. Just inform yourself really well on the utility of the cryptocurrency that you're going to invest in.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, man, that's pretty cool. You try to share with your family members and other people too. And I'm sure like because even also I also got my own how do you say, what do you call, pushback or whatever. I guess that's the right term.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah,
or just like resistance, or like they don't they think that I'm making a huge mistake, and in the beginning, I remember when I was like, "Damn, what if this is a huge mistake?" But hey, I had that mentality, like we're young, we gotta take a little bit more risks now, as opposed to later when we're older, we might not be able to take that many risks anymore.
yeah,
Um, and I,
no, no,
I've
no,
had
that's
I've
true.
had a lot of success with friends. Now some friends of mine are like saying, "Dude, thank you for like opening my eyes to this, and I'm glad I did it." And that's the same way I feel towards my best friend Josh, who got me into it.
Yeah. No, that is really cool. Yeah. No, I mean, because I've met some other people I mean, man, they have done way better and stuff. Uh, but I'm also really excited, not only that our thoughts, our belief in say Bitcoin in particular has been vindicated. But I think personally for me, like to me, like again with the split, BTC, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, and all that stuff going on, I start to see a lot of new advanced technologies, better tech out there, and also a lot of brilliant people are they are making things happen in the space. So I was just curious to hear from you, like, because you started investing in other altcoins as well. So,
Right, right.
um, like, I mean, what attracted you to some of them? I mean, if you don't, you don't need to mention the names, but I mean, just in terms of like the utility, like I guess uh,
Right.
what value they bring to the marketplace. So,
Okay. Well, Ethereum, for one, is just it appealed to me because, to be honest with you, in the beginning, I had no idea like what it was about. It just appealed to me. This was
yeah,
2017, and then I learned about the whole ecosystem that the Ethereum network is creating. All the things that are spawning from the Ethereum network, from NFTs to smart contracts, uh, decentralized finance. Um, I haven't gotten into the NFTs yet, but I'm looking. I'm shopping around, seeing what's out there. I might get my hands on an NFT soon.
nice.
And
Okay.
then just some other ones, like I'll mention the names. I have Cardano, for example.
Okay.
Consumes less energy. From a environmental standpoint, I guess it's a little bit more eco-friendly. Um, but I'm very optimistic that there are other opportunities out there, and that also Bitcoin and all of this whole space will become more eco-friendly in the future as we shift more towards cleaner energy. Um, I didn't get into Monero, but I really wanted to. I might get into it. I know you've spoken about it before and on your
Yeah.
podcast. Um, but I also put a little bit here and there in other small coins that are really they're worth pennies right now. And what
Yeah.
I did it because it could be that you win the lottery on those, and I'm willing to
True.
take that risk. It's not that much. I won't mention names, but yeah,
Yeah.
there are some out there.
No, I agree. I think it's interesting that like hearing your portfolio. It's similar to I mean, yeah, like an investor, but you also have a little element of a venture capitalist, because see, I think like all these VC funds, I mean, they invest in like in 10 funds, out of it's like 10 startups, only one becomes really successful,
Hmm.
So I think in some way too, we all are our own business. We are a business,
Exactly.
and
And
I
I'm
think
gonna
that's
be sorry. Go ahead.
go
Sorry.
go sorry. Oh, sorry. I'll just make it quick. I mean, I'm just saying that like, um, you know, it's just a paradigm shift that in terms of how we are doing business compared like a decade ago, right? I mean, when we're in college, I mean, like, man, this is not even a thought at all. But now,
Yeah, you're
we're,
right.
so yeah.
I'm gonna bring. I want to. That's what actually I was gonna say. You brought up that about college and everything. I mean, I'm gonna try to make this story short, but I always wanted to be working in public service as a diplomat for the UN or something, and I wanted to
Right.
prosecute people who are perpetuating war crimes, and that's the kind of I wanted to make a career in politics and diplomacy, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that I had my just my whole trajectory changed uh, at the during the pandemic when it all started. Um, and I ran for vice mayor over here in Costa Rica. That was also
Wow.
what attributed to this whole shift to focus more on myself, financial education, personal finance, and basically I just had an awakening. Like I got my foot into the water of politics. I ran for vice mayor with another person who would have been the first woman to be mayor in the county where I was living in Costa Rica, and we got third place out of 8 parties that were running. We lost due to corruption. The party that won ultimately just had the upper hand, had all the tactics, had all the everything rigged. Like he already had everything calculated 3 years prior, and I had only been living in the community for 2 years, and in Costa Rica for 2 years, and
Yeah.
my partner, the one that ran with me for mayor, she was from a different part of the county, like a rural district, not the
Yeah.
central, not the central part of the county where most of the votes are. So that affected us as well. And and also Marcos, you know me. I've also been very involved in environmental activism here in Costa Rica since
Yeah. Yeah.
2017. And so I all of that stuff, it's great, and I don't want to come off as like now I don't care about it. It's just that I was devoting my own resources to fund these things, everything, and it voluntary work right now is it's not sustainable for me. I needed some source of income, some security, and fortunately I still had all my Bitcoin and all my other stuff. I had never sold it, and I was just patient, and I was just focusing on those things at the time. And when all this happened with the pandemic, I started to reflect and you know see what I did and what I could have done, and I said, you know what, I'm going to be a little bit more selfish with my time and focus on myself and on personal finance. And I not only have been invested in crypto, but also I got into the traditional stock market investing, um, as well, and learning as much as I can, uh, and try to create a more economic security for myself and my future. And then later on, if the opportunity arises, I will pick up the mantle again for the environmental projects that I was working on, because I have an NGO. It's just not active, like it's not operating right now. And I have
Okay.
I have intentions to pick that up again, but not yet, not yet. I'm working a little bit on myself right now, and family, trying to
True,
navigate
true.
through this whole chaos in the world.
Wow, yeah, yeah, no, no, I definitely knew about the NGO and your environmental initiatives, but I don't recollect you. I totally forgot, or I don't think we even talked about you running as a vice mayor. I mean, wait, like, wait, what in Costa Rica? Like, wait, so sorry, I'm just like
No worries.
recollecting and catching up.
Yeah.
But what I really loved, okay, but what one of the main takeaways from this is that this was something like, I mean, I had to learn like long time ago, and also many other people too, that um, the time we spent on like political activism, I guess in a I don't know if political activism is the right word, but it just drain a lot of energy and stuff. But when you're working on yourself and you're trying to create your, how do you say, your own entrepreneurial pursuits, or you're trying to increase your financial confidence, you're trying to increase your human capital. Uh, I think from then on, like you'll have the ability to do other things, and this one particular podcast I used to listen to is this guy named Jason Stapleton. It's called Wealth, Power, and Influence, and it's a great podcast because he had the largest libertarian podcast in the world, but then he walked away from it. Like he changed trajectory because all he did was you got a bunch of pissed off Marines and like other I guess
Yeah.
angry libertarians,
Yeah.
or just complaining about the process and stuff. It's more like watching a sports game, and just complaining and stuff. But there's no action, or creating a business, or creating some sort of initiative to you know control your source of the income. And I think like during the pandemic and stuff, I remember like Jason, he pleaded a lot of people, you got to be independent, you got to find your own, control your own source, don't depend on the government, don't depend on these employers.
Yeah.
And COVID came, or the pandemic came in, and man, wow, people got screwed. And man, it was a tough lesson for me too. So
Right.
uh,
Right.
I'm glad that in many
Oh,
ways, you found your awakening. So
yeah, man, because I'm glad too. uh, I wish they would have taught this in school. Financial education is just sorely lacking in our classrooms. I don't know in Dubai. I can't speak for everywhere, but I know for a
oh, it's
fact.
same, it's same.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's
Okay.
all the same. If it's
Okay.
pretty much whatever's happening in the U.S. is sort of like bleeds in the
Rippling around the
UK,
world.
and yeah,
Yeah.
so like,
I don't know why, man. I don't know why. Is it there might be like some agenda out there, a secret one, of course. They just don't want us to like thrive and prosper. And there's just so many things that we could have been taught in school, about saving and taxes and investing. Not only investing financially, but investing in ourselves. All they taught us is that you have to go to school to be successful to get a job, and work a 9 to 5
yeah,
job, and that's it. And
agree.
there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer, that's fine, that's perfect, go ahead. But I mean, don't don't like feel that you have to go to school in order to be successful. And I see that now. And my mom was telling me a story yesterday. She was telling me when she was 6 years old in Costa Rica in 1968, they used to teach uh, them, the school, they would create a bank account for the kids, and the parents, at the end of the month, they would give them, like, something like uh, a small little amount, maybe like $1 or something, and they would, but that was worth a lot here back then,
Yeah.
and they would teach the children how to save money, how to manage their money instead of like going and spending it on a soda or a candy bar. They would be teaching this back then,
Wow.
and now that doesn't exist here. That's just like one example I can give you, and from Texas, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's
Yeah, that's
sad.
so rare.
That needs to change. That definitely needs to change.
Yeah. But no, that's such an interesting story though, and just want to piggyback on it, like talking about cryptos and stuff. I just want to share this. Like, ever since I got into cryptos, it has a lot of people ask me questions about cryptocurrencies and stuff, but it kind of opened for me. It was an opportunity for me to talk about the Federal Reserve. Remember you and me used to talk about it and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
And the
you
Fed.
know, yeah, and the Fed, but also just the concept of how money is created. That given me the opportunity to share that stuff, and a lot of people had no idea, no clue. Even people in the banks, they don't know how money is created. That is the crazy part, you know. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, you're
so,
right.
uh, I mean, have you ever come across that kind of situation with people when it comes to cryptos and financial education? Because I mean, to me, it works together in some way.
No, you're
Like you have
absolutely
to.
right. That's a good point. Basically, they kind of like, the people that I've spoken to about that, they just never considered it. They totally didn't know that, the US dollar is not backed by gold since 1972, or
One.
19, since Nixon took us off the Bretton Woods system, the gold standard, sorry. And
Yeah.
basically, that everything is just being printed out of thin air, not backed by anything, and we are losing us, or we are losing our purchasing power. The dollar is just devaluating so much. That compounded with inflation, it's just it's a really mess. It's a huge mess. So that's why we need to invest in things that are gonna protect our wealth and help it grow and appreciate during these difficult times with inflation, quantitative easing, which is basically what the Federal Reserve is doing in the United States. They're really close to approving another package of 1.5 trillion dollars, but there's
Oh, really? Damn.
yeah, it was going to be three. It was going to be 3 trillion. It was going to be 3 trillion, and some on the far left wanted it to be 5 trillion. And and there's all these things that we don't know where this money is going. We don't know what it's going to pay for, whose pockets it's going to end up in. But
Oh God.
this also affects the constituents of those representatives, those politicians that are most vulnerable, like the poor, the working class. This is going to affect them dramatically,
Yeah.
as they're going to be losing purchasing power because their wages cannot keep up with the rate of inflation right now, which is at
Yeah.
5%.
Yeah, I'm glad you shared that because just like a couple of days ago, Lisa was just telling me about her mom who lives in Watertown, Wisconsin, and like people also started to notice like the cost of goods, like your steaks prices going up, milk prices going up, like the supply chain issues going on. So um, I don't know. It's a pretty crazy time, but I'm also seeing it not only just in the U.S. but also other parts of the world too. We're seeing that over here. I'm not seeing that much, but of course, it cannot stay calm forever. So, I mean, there are some other people who I'm friends with. They are kind of pessimistic. They're expecting for something bad to happen or crash to happen. So they're just kind of like waiting and you know buy low and then sell high kind of opportunity in that sense. But in terms of the living standard, yeah, hey, I am in agreement with you that it's. It is kind of insane though. Once one group wants 5 trillion, another group wants 3 trillion, and then you got the of course then you got, I know like the Republicans would be like, let's reduce to 1 trillion, but they all to me they're all on the same team, and uh,
Yeah, it's
I
two sides of the same coin, right?
it is
And they,
frustrating, and I'm just like, when are people gonna wake up? Like
yeah, I know, I know.
so. But
It,
I'm grateful that there are what do you say, like this freakish asset called cryptocurrency. You got Bitcoin, you got these other cryptocurrencies out there where you can counter these things and you could protect your wealth. You could also, I do hope, like it'll create opportunities for people to do business using cryptocurrencies. I mean, that would be, to me, that's counter economics. That's going to be a game changer. I mean, what do
yeah.
you think? Yeah.
No,
Like,
absolutely. It is going to be a huge game changer. We're seeing it right now unfold as people get more educated. You're going to hear more big stories, make headlines. You know, it's we have a rental property in Texas, and man, I really wish from the very beginning we would have put in the contract to get paid in Bitcoin as opposed to in fiat currency.
yeah,
Um, no, but we're seeing it happen, Marcos. We're seeing it happen. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you heard today in Australia, the largest bank of Australia, the Commonwealth Bank of Australia, just announced that they are going to be offering uh, like a platform for their customers, for their clients to purchase cryptocurrencies. They're partnering up with Gemini. Gemini
Okay.
is a very, for those of you that don't know, it's a really reputable um, crypto exchange in the United States, and I've been using them since I got started back in 2017. I don't know if they're available in Dubai, but these guys, the founders, the
Yeah.
Winklevoss twins, were the original
Mm,
founders of Facebook.
right. Yeah.
So that's huge because that bank has 16 million clients, and the bank agreed to do it because they had so much pressure, demands from their clients to that they want exposure to Bitcoin among other cryptocurrencies, and so they finally accepted it. They have about 40,000 employees. The bank is over 100 years old, and I think this is just a
Wow.
very positive development. um, JP Morgan, who has been a very huge of Bitcoin, always, sends mixed signals. One day it says it's a scam. The you have what's his name?
Oh, Jamie
Uh,
Dimon, right?
Jamie Dimon coming out,
Yeah,
uh, hacking it and saying, this and that, and well, like they just came out with a report yesterday saying that Bitcoin could hit $146,000 soon, like, and then it is the digital gold again. And they wrote a report
yeah,
like several months back where something very negative towards Bitcoin.
yeah. No, that's it. Thanks for the info. I didn't know that, but that's pretty cool to learn about Australia and Gemini. I haven't used Gemini yet, but I'm definitely aware of them. I mean, the Winklevoss twins are. I mean, they're highly respected, and I think to me, them getting into cryptos is, it's kind of like a fu to, like Mark Zuckerberg, because I think it's gonna be, yeah, because definitely for sure I can see it, like, become bigger than, I think, not bigger than Facebook, but I'm sure it can be. Who knows? I mean, it's possible, but I think it's
Yeah.
like a second coming for them.
Yeah, right. And now that whole business tactic that Mark Zuckerberg implemented with changing the name of Facebook right now when it was being called into question. It was on the spotlight. The timing and everything is very peculiar.
Right.
Metaverse. I think uh, that aside, Facebook aside, the whole metaverse concept and the technology that will uh, accelerate this virtual reality, augmented reality, all that stuff is going to be. It just goes along with it flows very well with cryptocurrency. And sooner or later, you're going to be hearing Facebook is going to be offering some peer-to-peer payment system, not only with their crypto, but also they're going to do what Square did, where Square, you can have a wallet, and Twitter, you can have a wallet, and
Yeah.
you can send money to anyone in the world using the Bitcoin Lightning Network, and all you just need to do is have your iPhone and soon your Android phone. You're going to be able to do it. Well,
Yeah.
once these tech giants get in, uh, like Facebook and Google, this is going to go up even more. It's going to be parabolic. Mastercard just announced that they're partnering, that they're going to be accepting Bitcoin as well and cryptocurrencies. Um, a lot of
Oh,
neat
okay.
about.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like I think their payment partners they can what do you say transact cryptocurrencies or I guess BTC in particular.
Yeah,
So
mainly
that's
BTC.
yeah, that's interesting though. Yeah, yeah. I mean, definitely seeing a lot of institutional money coming in and stuff, but also same time too. Personally, for me, I'm sort of I guess like I mean, to me it's great news, but I'm not that super excited about all these big techs coming in, or like say for example with El Salvador, for example, like I mean, it's nice that okay they made Bitcoin or BTC a legal like a legal tender, but but again it's more of through a mandate perspective, like by law or something. It's not like the people ask for it or something,
Okay.
like a free
Yeah,
market
I
approach.
see your point. I see your
You
point
know,
with
but
that.
I understand that. But I think eventually other countries, I think,
But the
I guess from the
opposition,
grassroots level.
sorry, the
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
opposition though in El Salvador, the opposition, a lot of it was being funded by Western Union and
Hmm.
traditional
Okay.
banks,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
these
yeah.
people were being misinformed. They should have done what Vitalik Buterin had said previously on some podcast. Basically, said that what should have been done is educate first the population, and
Hmm.
and then not make it like mandatory. Allow them to choose, because by imposing, it goes against like the principles of the original values of Bitcoin, and like
Oh,
freedom
crypto.
and
Yeah.
freedom of
Yeah.
choice, all that,
Yeah. No, I can understand that. No, I'm aware that
democratizing
like
content.
with all this the resistance in El Salvador, because I am aware there is some CIA involvement in it, like which I'm not surprised, like because there have been some strikes like in El Salvador related to the retirement program, which is also connected to the I guess up to the I guess to the Shivo wallet. Or, I mean, there was something going on, but I guess for the most part, I mean, it is
I,
actually well received though. Actually, I mean, there is a Bitcoin beach in El Salvador, so there are some properties you can buy with BTC. It's through this company called ECI Development. So I heard about that. I mean, that's pretty cool. So, I mean, that is something. That is something to be excited about.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that story. What you mentioned, maybe you can send me that article, whatever you
Oh,
had read
sure.
about the CIA financing something over
Yeah,
there.
because there's this what do you say this channel I follow. Oh well, this group is called the Dollar Vigilantes, and they have the Crypto Vigilantes. So those are they come from an anarcho-capitalist, viewpoint. So I mean, there are some videos and stuff, but I can definitely search and definitely share with you and all.
Yeah.
But all this like actually the point I was saying that like a lot of resistance that you see in South America or Latin America, there's like you said, there's always uh, some sort of U.S. involvement.
Yeah,
Like
on the contrary, man. On the contrary, I want to say that Panama already has a bill on the floor. It's going to be voted on very soon to basically not make Bitcoin legal tender, but to integrate, like Costa Rica is already the central bank already signaled it, to integrate it into the country and allow it to develop, to create jobs and what have you, to be traded, to just have that legal framework backing it. And in Brazil as well, you have other countries that are in Argentina, Costa Rica. You have these countries that are, they are actually sort of embracing it. With the only opposition that I can think of right now is the Western unions of the world, and um,
yeah,
the traditional banks but I think if they don't evolve with the times, that they are gonna lose out. They are gonna suffer. And the United States is
agreed.
actually, for better or worse, I think it's a positive development because I'm originally from the United States,
Yeah,
proud American citizen, and I also have Costa Rican citizenship. But since the China crackdown on cryptocurrency and mining, all that exodus
yeah,
has left and moved to the West. Right now, it's has concentrated mostly in the United States and Europe. Um, I think Kazakhstan received a lot of the Bitcoin miners from China, and they actually have they're up there in the top five in terms of mining hash power and all that. It's one of the
right,
largest.
right, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. No, yeah, because Kazakhstan is up there. But I'm actually excited to learn about like Texas though. Like I mean, Texas got
Texas is
uh,
super pro Bitcoin. They're going to be creating
oh
a Bitcoin mining company over there. Forgot what name it is, and they're also
yeah, yeah,
uh, that capture. There's like a lot of the oil companies in Texas. They they emit a lot of greenhouse gas emissions,
right,
and
yeah, yeah,
there's this method. It's called flare capturing, or where basically they have a way to harness, to capture all those emissions and use it to power mining, to power
mining.
Bitcoin mining. That's what we're gonna
That's
see. That's
legit,
what you're gonna
man.
see next, and you have a lot of support from the government of Texas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh no, that's pretty cool because like I mean because if they're not going to capture the I guess the flares or whatever the flare gases and stuff, I mean it's just wasted money, so that way it's an efficient way of just trying to maintain energy, and also it's also for a good use to like to actually to secure the Bitcoin network or the crypto networks, which depending on what they're mining. But I think I, I think when it comes to cryptos, it's just there's always like new solutions to like to solve these old problems, in terms of environment, in terms of monetary policy, security. I mean, it's the way I see it. I think like to me, crypto is a multidisciplinary subject. I mean, I mean, I'm learning like all kinds of stuff. It's not just like one area. So I mean, I never imagined I would be learning about like environment and governance and game theory, economics. I mean, that has never been in my like in my mind, So
Me
I don't know
too.
about you, but
Me
I'm.
too. No, no, me too. Like I said, I had a different mindset a couple of years ago, and I wish I had learned sooner. But hey, it's never too late. Just try as soon as you can to open your mind to new things. And here we are. And we're students till the end, but we're important.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we're on the same boat. And I just want
Right,
my
right, yeah.
friends and loved ones to take advantage of this opportunity. Um, it will help you during the hard times that are coming. Uh,
Hmm.
we need to do
Great,
it
yeah.
for ourselves and for our future.
No, true, true, yeah. But speaking about being a student in the game, because I know we are kind of running out of time, but um, I would love to give like the last a couple of minutes for you to just um, talk about. I mean, if someone's new to cryptos, like, what would be your first steps,
Hmm.
and
Okay.
if they other than learning through resources, but can people come to you and learn from you?
Oh,
So.
absolutely. If somebody were to ask me, what are the steps to get into this whole space, depends where you are. So, generally speaking, I would get on the computer and search and research what are the best in terms of security, in terms of customer service, exchanges, platforms where you go and you create an account. You need to prove your identity in most exchanges. Set it up. Once you get approved, you link your bank account to the exchange. Um, and then you transfer the money from your bank account, and whatever money you decide to set for this for crypto investments, um, like I said in the beginning, be sure that you are willing to take a risk. Nothing is guaranteed in life. If somebody tells you you're gonna get this amount guaranteed, they're lying to you. There is risks in everything. Volatility is a reality. It's not necessarily good. It's not necessarily bad. Um, so if you have, say, $50, $20, $100 that you would like to just allocate to invest in an asset like Bitcoin or Ethereum, those would be my top recommendations. Um, do so. I mean, you don't have to buy one whole token, one whole
Right.
coin outright. It's
Yeah.
you can buy a fraction's worth, and you set that aside. You take it off the exchange if you want to. If you want to put it in a cold storage wallet, or if you want to have it somewhere else, Marcos. I don't know what service you use. If you have it offline or if you have it on some exchange, but whatever you decide, it's you can earn interest off of your cryptocurrency, or you can take it off and have it on a ledge. What do you call it?
Oh, like a cold wallet. Like a,
Cold storage wallet. You can
yeah,
have it
yeah.
on one of those. Um, there's different brands out there. That's the
Hmm.
safest way. You have to remember your password. It's like 20 different words, more or less, and that's hack proof. But if you lose those passwords, you've pretty much lost your cryptocurrency. The other form is you earn interest on it, and there's a lot of companies out there. BlockFi, there's Celsius,
Hmm.
and there's Uhold. There's different ones. You just gotta
Oh, okay.
see what works best for you. That's what I would recommend, and leave it there for at least 4 years, and
All
keep
right. Yeah.
investing every week or every month, whatever you can. Take a little bit of your paycheck and you distribute it how you want. I'm not a financial expert. I'm not an advisor, but this is what has worked for me, and I continue to do so. So does my family, like my mom and my brother-in-law and some cousins that actually listened, and they're continuing to do so. Friends that have done it, and they are educating themselves and keeping up to date. Yeah, so just I think it's the right thing to do. And if you don't do crypto, get into something else, real estate, or put a little bit in the stock market,
Right.
diversify a little bit if you want to.
Great.
That's what I would recommend, Marcos.
No, 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 no. I like the last one. I think, but because the most important thing is not just crypto. It's just about investing in your future. You're trying to future-proof yourself.
Right.
So it's the principle that really matters. And thank you for sharing that. I think that's important. I just don't want to. Definitely, I know it's all about cryptos, but the most important thing is why we are getting into cryptos is to future-proof ourselves and you know just to be prepared, financially and mentally, So I think that's a really important thing. So thank you for saying that. I really do appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you
Right.
for having me. It's been great sharing with you and hearing you, and I'd love to do this again sometime in the near
Of
future.
course, yeah. Oh no, we'll definitely have we'll definitely have this fireside chat thing again. Maybe after a couple of weeks. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
who knows?
whenever.
Maybe before the year ends, we can we can have a little. I don't know, a little Christmas get together, something short, something sweet, and then end the
Anytime, man.
year. Yeah, end the
Anytime.
year.
You let me know.
Yeah. For sure, for sure. But anyways, everyone at the Cryptocosm, it's about the time has come to an end. But thank you, Mario, for entering the Cryptocosm, sharing your origin story and your tips and insights into cryptos. And yeah, hey, it was fun, not just chatting with a guest, but actually a lifelong friend. So that to me, it's been an amazing joy. And I also apologize for the interruption with
No
the
worries,
with
man.
our internet. I think the power was not meant to be or trying to interfere, but we overcame that, y'all. We overcame
Yeah,
that.
it happens everywhere. Hey, no, thank you,
Yeah,
Marcos. Glad to be here. Honored to be a part of the program. And
sure, sure.
you stay safe, my friend. We'll be in touch.
Sure. Anyways, okay, y'all be good. Y'all be safe. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.